Hello everyone, I'm Hannah and welcome back to my table where I'll be showing you everything we ate for dinner last week. This is week 2 of our meal planning. Here's the plan for the week. If you watched my previous video, you may see that this week some of the meals were swapped around a bit. Overall, we ended up eating pretty much everything we had planned to, but just on slightly different days. The main thing I'm finding with meal planning at the moment is that it can be quite difficult while hubby is having school lunches. He's a teacher, so at the moment he's getting free lunches while schools are partially open. However, he doesn't know what he's going to have in advance. And a couple of times now he's come home and told me that what he had for lunch was what I planned to make for dinner. So that's why things get swapped around a bit, which is fine, as I think when planning anything in advance, you need to allow for changes and have a bit of flexibility. Anyway, on to the food. On Monday, we had chicken with peppers, onions and couscous. I used the slow-cooked shredded chicken that you saw me make last week and used up some of the veg we had left over from last week, cooked in some fajita spices. Couscous is a super easy carb to have as a side. All you do is pop some in a bowl and cover it with boiling water from the kettle, then leave it to sit while you prepare everything else. We top our meal with barbecue sauce and mayonnaise, maybe an old combo, but we like it, and some cheese. On Tuesday, I had planned to cook some sausages from the freezer. This was one of the days where hubby had the same thing for lunch, so we swapped and had fish fingers instead, which we had in the freezer. Sometimes you just get a craving for something like fish fingers. You'll see here that I'm using my most beloved kitchen gadget, the Tefal ActiFry. I've just chopped up some potatoes into chip shapes. I don't bother peeling them and put them into the ActiFry with some salt and pepper and a splash of oil. They've come out looking and tasting like the most amazing chips, and they are vaguely healthy. With the fish fingers and chips, we just had some baked beans. On Wednesday, neither of us was particularly hungry, so we just had some very basic pasta. You'll see that we're both having bacon with ours. Hubby had a tomato sauce with his, and I had some garlic and parmesan with mine. I was hoping it would turn out vaguely like carbonara, as that's my favourite meal and I can't eat it at the moment because I'm pregnant. It tasted nothing like a carbonara, but it was fine. Anything with bacon is good. This was a really hot day, so neither of us had much of an appetite and I didn't want to be stood in front of the oven for too long, so we went with something simple. On Thursday, we had the sausages that I had defrosted earlier in the week. Again, I used the ActiFry. This is a really easy meal where you just chop and chuck everything in and let it do its thing. I added the sausages whole into the bottom of the ActiFry and then chopped some potatoes and onions and added them on top. I didn't need to add any oil this time because the sausages release some fat, which makes everything go nice and crispy. The final shot of this meal isn't on the table as it normally would be because we were debating about eating outside but decided it was too warm once we got out there. You may also notice the plates are looking a bit empty. That's because I had cooked some peas in the microwave to have on the side but completely forgot about them until we had nearly finished eating. So that was a bit of a fail. On Friday we wanted a bit of a treat as it had been a long week, and instead of having a takeaway, which we normally would, I made macaroni cheese with some crispy bacon. It's not really macaroni cheese as I never buy actual macaroni pasta, I just use whatever we have on hand, which is penne at the moment. I used up the rest of the bacon from earlier in the week and made a basic cheese sauce, then combined everything together. Sometimes I then cook the whole lot in the oven with some more cheese on top, but I was starving and it was pretty hot, so I didn't do that today. I think it tastes just as good whether you bake it or not. On Saturday, hubby was out at dinner time and I really didn't feel hungry, so I just had some mini cheddars and some grapes. I bought a new gadget this week, a NutriBullet, so I'll insert a clip of that here. At the moment I only really use it for smoothies as I'm trying really hard to get my 5 a day, but it seems like it could be used for so many different things that I think it will be worth the money. It will also be good to make baby food when she gets a bit older. On Sunday, my mum and sister threw us a little baby shower. Unfortunately, I only got a photo of what they did, but it was very sweet. My mum made some scones and finger sandwiches and some cupcakes, and then we had some nibbly bits as well. So that was dinner this week. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back round the table for dinner next week.